Today, I'm gonna do something no other YouTuber could possibly dare to do. I'm gonna do something other YouTubers live in fear of having to do every single day. I'm changing my opinion on something. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I recommend watching my first video about Overwatch 2 explaining my thoughts on the game before it came out, and let me tell you, I did not have anything nice to say about that game back then. This game does not deserve your money, it does not deserve your time, and it definitely doesn't deserve your attention.
Meanwhile,
you know what? The game's actually kind of fun. Go ahead and give it a quick watch and come back when you're done. All in all, I still think it's a pretty solid video, despite my opinion being different now. And, also maybe subscribe while you're at it, alright? Thank you. So, funny story, right? I made that entire video and all my arguments in it based on the assumption that the game was going to be worth full price or, worth any money at all. And then not too long after my video came out, Blizzard announced that the game was completely free. It's like some Blizzard exec or employee watched this entire video and went, look at this channel that with 300 something subscribers made a video completely talking shit and destroying our game. Let's make everything he said wrong.
You stupid.
Okay, well, I didn't get everything wrong, okay? I still got some stuff right. I kinda wish I had the foresight to see this coming, since the free-to-play model has certainly been a rising trend in the gaming industry over the last couple of years. I mean, one of the biggest dogs in the park, aka Halo, after much anticipation and years of speculation, turned out to be completely free as well. See, I had thought that given Blizzard's history, that they would be greedy enough to not change the game much and also charge the full price of a new game, but I was wrong in more ways than one there. Now, you could argue that the business model they're running Overwatch 2 on is equally as greedy, if not more, and honestly, I don't think I can blame you for thinking that at all. I, however, after playing the game a lot, came to a much different conclusion after thinking about it for a while, and their decision to make it free to play was, in the end, in my opinion, the best move they could have pulled to make this game successful. So yes, the game is free, much to my surprise, but for me personally, and I think for most people actually, this turned out to be a big positive for the game's PR, and I hate to repeat myself, but they definitely took some notes from Halo Infinite, I think. Both Overwatch and Halo definitely had similar trajectories in the court of public opinion leading up to their launches. Having a free game with expensive and cool cosmetics, like I said earlier, has been a rising trend in the industry, but it's a rising trend for a reason. Because it works. Both Halo Infinite and Overwatch 2's gameplay reveals were both met with pretty negative responses overall, and the internet made it very clear that they were not happy with what they were seeing, and I think both companies recognized it and saw an opportunity because, let's be honest, both companies probably originally planned both games to be full price. Let's take this from Blizzard's perspective. Overwatch 1, one of their biggest successes of all time, has officially gone down the drain, but you know that this franchise still has the potential to be successful again with significant changes in the game itself being made, but there's a problem. In the eyes of the internet, it's pretty much impossible to fix the reputation of something that's already considered to be too broken for repair, regardless of how true that actually is. The player base is dropping in numbers every year, and the reputation of your game is already unchangeable at this point. An easy way to bring new hype to any franchise is obviously a sequel, so they can make the changes fans have been asking for to make the gameplay actually fun again. Now, unfortunately, you've already announced this sequel and you're not met with great reviews because the first game's reputation is already bad, like I mentioned earlier, but also the game itself hardly looks different on the surface. So how can you convince people to buy the sequel to a game people no longer like? The answer is, you can't. So just follow the trends that the industry has already proven to work and make the game free and add in a PvE mode just to seal the deal, and bada bing bada boom, recipe for success. Truthfully, I don't see any other way they could have gone about this without it totally flopping, to be honest. I know some of you hardcore Omega Chad gamers may not like it, but Fortnite really has set a standard for the free-to-play model while managing to keep the game relevant and actually making the game better over time, believe it or not. Whether or not you dislike Fortnite, The game's continued relevancy and success is undeniable in its genre, or even in the industry as a whole. There's a big difference between Overwatch and Halo, and if you ask me currently, the way Blizzard is handling Overwatch has much more in common with Fortnite than Halo does, and that's probably why the game will continue to be successful for the foreseeable future. Not to say Halo hasn't been successful, of course, it had a pretty successful launch, but the drop in player base and overall popularity in general online has really spoken for itself. Both companies are listening to their audience's criticism and using it to improve their game, which is a lesson Blizzard unfortunately had to learn the hard way with the absolute train wreck Overwatch 1 ended up being. Fortnite fans said, hey, gameplay is too slow and we need faster ways to get around the map. Boom, vehicles. They said, hey, we don't like building. No build mode. Hey, we don't like the current weapon pool and the map is boring. All new weapons and completely new map this season. And Blizzard is basically taking the same approach with their current character building and meta. It's pretty clear that Blizzard has been taking a very active approach in listening to the current issues that the game is having and adjusting appropriately in a timely manner, which is massively important. So many games have had the potential to be huge, but so many of those games developers take too long to make changes. When developers take too long to make changes or don't make any at all, the audience will get the feeling that they don't care, so they'll stop caring too. Like apparently the Apex Legends community have been getting bored of their game and quitting because the developers haven't added anything new in like a year or something apparently. So, I mean, that's just what happens when you don't do anything to your game to keep it relevant. In this current industry, in the multiplayer meta, I guess you could say, if you don't have a constant flow of new content coming in, people are just going to get bored. That's how it is now. Blizzard may not always get it 100% right, but to me at least, it feels like they're actually listening and actually trying. Here's the thing, if Overwatch 2 really was as bad as some people want to make it out to be, then why would so many Overwatch 1 players and streamers who blew up playing Overwatch 1 on stream be playing Overwatch 2 now if it really was as bad as they say it is? It does not matter how popular a game is, if people don't like it or if the game is bad, then they're not gonna play it. If a streamer is playing a game that they don't enjoy, then their chat's not gonna enjoy it and it's just not good content. If they enjoy the game, then they're gonna play it. It's as simple as that. It's not just their business approach that has helped this game to be as successful as it is either. Like I said, Blizzard has gone out of their way to address the problems that the fanbase had with Overwatch 1 and the current issues that they're having with the new game, so I wanted to go over some of the actual changes in game that have been made that resulted in this game actually being fun again. But I won't be doing this alone. See, despite my 64 hours playing this game, I still needed more help to go into detail about this, so I recruited a friend of mine who just might be a little more knowledgeable than me to help me out. With that being said, please give a warm welcome to my friend Kleinmaster, who will now be taking the stage away from me, who you should all go follow on Twitch and Twitter. Alright, that's a demand, it's an order. Alright, thank you.
The developers working on Overwatch 2 have been receptive to player feedback when it came to the balancing of this game. Throughout the weeks, they would push out hotfixes that shift hero performance, such as Sojourn's Railgun and Anna's healing and damage. Sometimes it would even temporarily remove heroes from the roster if any game-breaking exploit was discovered, like the Infinite Ammo Bastion ultimate from Season 1, or the no-clip Maywall glitch. With the meta currently shifting with each patch Overwatch receives, a positive atmosphere is seen as the developers show more transparency with how they view the hero shooter, offering a fun competitive experience for all to see. 5 vs 5 in comparison to the old Overwatch 1 6 vs 6 standard offers faster paced gameplay while emphasizing the importance of hero cooldown management. With 2 less players on the field, Overwatch 2 brings a less chaotic teamfight environment, bringing more control with planned engagements. The meta at the start of Overwatch 2's release was hovered around the dive comp strategy, using characters that benefited from a highly aggressive playstyle compared to Overwatch 1's shield meta, having much slower engagements. During this year's Overwatch League playoffs, you would typically see comps like Winston, Lucio Reaper, and Sojourn and Kiriko on both teams. Most matches were just filled with mirror compositions of those same teams. This really highlighted how strong the speed was of how Kiriko's Kitsune Rush and Lucio's Speed Boost enabled Reaper and Winston to outpace the opponent whenever they were at advantage. Also, Kiriko's ability to save anyone from danger with Suzu enables the entire team to take risks and get out scot-free, as it gives an invulnerability, a cleanse, a heal, and even a knockback. This is still very prevalent in Season 2's meta, to the point where people ask themselves, if you aren't bringing a Kiriko, are you really going to win at the highest level?
The answer is no. You're probably not.
Players wish to see how devs respond to this sort of feedback in upcoming seasons, as Kiriko's strength is currently outshining other support heroes. With the transfer to Overwatch 2 came the new push mode, the replacement to the 2CP mode, which is an assault style mode where the attacking team needs to win 2 control points in a row to win the round. The push mode is a tug of war style mode similar to Payload. Each team must push the objective to the furthest point to win the match. The mode rewards the team keeping up with the momentum compared to 2CP, which offered many long overtimes of the final point never being captured at all. I personally find the mode very enjoyable, and I wish to see more maps added in the future, as we only have 3 so far. Player feedback has been well received as well, and the community hopes for maps in the future that fully bring in the game type's full potential. With 5 vs 5 can the removal of a tank slot, which in turn reworked many tanks to have them be the anchor of comps by giving them more health, ammo, shorter cooldowns, and even entire toolkit changes. Doomfist and Orisa, for example, have received complete changes since their time in Overwatch 1. Doomfist had a complete role change coming from a DPS to a tank, removing his uppercut ability in exchange for a block that gives him a supercharged punch, shifting the momentum to his team's favor quickly. Orisa, on the other hand, has received a complete toolkit change. Instead of a portable shield, she is now equipped with a lance that she can throw into a defensive ability, a complete ultimate change, and a powerful new ability called Fortify, making her nearly unkillable whenever it's active. With these toolkit changes and overall tank changes, you can feel just how much more impactful these heroes are in comparison to Overwatch themselves, being able to put in much more weight and even being the clutch their team needs.
Now let's get on with what I actually got right with my first video and some new smaller criticisms I'd like to air out as well. First of all, Overwatch 2 is pretty much just Overwatch 1 like I said it would be. The maps are essentially the same, and outside of a few small character reworks, the characters are the same too. To me, this classifies more as an Overwatch 1.5 than an actual sequel, but Overwatch 2 sounds better for marketing. It is what it is. Also, I kinda wish that Blizzard took a page out of Halo's book, and my friends are gonna 100% say that I'm inhaling copium after they hear this next point, but I think this would actually be a worthy addition to the game. The Battle Pass in Halo Infinite works a little differently than in most modern multiplayer games. See, in Halo, even if a new season has begun and a new Battle Pass has come in, you can still finish whatever leftover progress you may have from the first Battle Pass. This way, even if it was like 5 seasons ago, you can still work on the first Battle Pass if you really wanted to. I just want Overwatch to have this same system because, like I said, I'm inhaling copium. Now you might be wondering, well Jose, why are you inhaling copium? Well, it's because I'm a Genji main and I couldn't get the final skin in the Season 1 Battle Pass, the Cyber Demon skin for Genji, despite getting super close. I was like level 96 and I didn't have the time or the money to grind or, the money to buy coins, and I'm still coping to this day. I did, however, buy the Street Runner skin to help with my loss, so, there's that, I guess. That aside, the biggest issue with this game's launch outside of not being able to play the game is that the PvE mode is nowhere to be found. A huge part of this game's marketing leading up to release was this new co-op PvE mode that looked promising, and this mode is just not in the game after being promised to us in all the marketing. Here's what I think. They may have realized that the mode may not be finished on time for the game's launch and decided to make the game free, or wanted to make players pay for this mode later on after launch. When that will be is completely beyond me, but either way, I'm completely fine with this outcome because honestly, I was not about to pay money for this game. Is it lazy? Yeah. Was I right on a lot of my points from the first video? Yeah. But in the end, it doesn't matter because we all know that we're all really just playing Overwatch in between games of Genji Ball anyway. Oh yeah, and the queue times still suck ass. Alright, bye-bye.